And now, Alan Blanchard presents Fight Camp, an optimum education.
It's that time of week again where myself, Aaron Blanchard, the podcast announcer, brings you another episode of Fight Camp, an Octagon Education. The new podcast for the new fan of the UFC and people who want to know just a little bit of insight from myself, just a normal fan, about the UFC. This week we're going to talk about the weight classes, but before I get into that, I want to say a massive thank you to all the support I've had, all the messages and all the people that have followed the show, subscribed, left reviews. I'm so chuffed that Fight Camp is now in the iTunes new and noteworthy category in the sport and hobby section. I'm so chuffed. It was been number 6 since it's debuted in there. I'm so happy. It even appeared in the all category of podcasts in new and noteworthy. I'm so over the moon. So from myself, Aaron Blanchard, a massive thank you to you for the support. I'm quite shocked. I'm overwhelmed by it, so I'm a little bit stuttery, but thank you again for the support. It's overwhelming. Thank you to the podcast, of course, for letting me make it possible, for making it possible for me to do the show and talk about something that I absolutely love. I love the mixed martial arts and I love the UFC. So thank you very much again. Right then, so get a drink, grab a brew, grab a beer, grab anything, do what you normally do to listen to the show, but get ready and we're about to start, and we're going to start with the weight classes in the UFC. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the weight class in the UFC, but I'm not going to go through the history of the weight classes, how they came about, how there didn't used to be a weight class at the start of the UFC. When it all started off, there was just no rules and anyone could fight anybody. There was a karate guy fighting a Zuma wrestler. None of that. I'm not going to talk about that because it's not relevant nowadays. I'll just confuse people. So what I'm going to talk about the current weight classes of today. Because like I said, it has changed. At one point there was 5 weight classes. Now there's 9 weight classes but 10 divisions. After the UFC bought another company, WEC, and there is loads of complicated stuff we don't really need to know about. So let's just go straight into like I said before, there are currently, in the UFC, there is currently 9 weight divisions, okay? But there are 10 actual divisions in the UFC. So there's 9 weight classes, there's 10 divisions, okay? 2 of the weight classes are the same weight class, but it's men and women, both in separate divisions, of course, because they don't fight each other. Unless Ronda Rousey had her way, then she'd fight all the men as well. So let's start with the newest weight class. It's also the smallest in weight class as well. This is the strawweight division. Now, the strawweight division is a woman's class. So women's division, strawweight, and it's a 115-pound division. So anyone up to 115 pounds is in this division. It's the newest division. It's very exciting to watch. These very small women. In stone, if you're in the UK, that's about 8 stone 3 in the strawweight division. Okay. So that's the newest division. The next division going up in weight class now is the flyweight division. That's a 125-pound division. Okay, the champion's actually defending his title soon. So it's 125-pound division, and that's 8 stone 13 pounds, and that's a men's division. So that's the second one of them. Then we have the bantamweight division, which is a 135-pound weight class. There's actually 2 divisions in this, men and women. Famously, the women's division is what Ronda Rousey's in, the women's division. See, I've mentioned her twice already. I'm obsessed with her. And this is 9 stone and 9 pounds weight division in the UK. Then we have the next division going up is the featherweight division. These are all men's divisions from now on as well. So this is the featherweight division, which is 145-pound weight class. So that's 10 stone and 5 pounds. And that is currently very exciting weight class because it's very famous at the moment because of a guy you probably heard of, Conor McGregor. The notorious Conor McGregor is in that weight class, and he is currently the interim champion, which means there is actually another champion. I'll explain about interim champions as well today, but currently, I might as well do it now. Interim champion is basically, Jose Aldo is the champion of the division, but he couldn't defend his title on short notice, so they had another title fight with another contender was brought in short notice, Conor McGregor, and they had a fight for the interim title. That means because the champion was injured and he wasn't able to fight, they have an interim championship fight, and then when they're to crown a champion, and then when the champion who is injured returns, they have a undisputed title fight then, who is the number one undisputed champion in that division. So that is happening now at the end of this year in December. So that's what interim champions are. I have had that question asked me before. So an interim champion is a fight they have for a bout that is because the current champion is injured, and then when the other current champion comes back, they have a main fight to find out who is the best champion, an undisputed title fight. Okay, so that's me going completely off track. So that's the featherweight division. That is 10 stone 5, and that is where Conor McGregor is in that weight class at the moment. Very exciting division. Next, we're going to go to the main 5. These next 5 divisions are the divisions that they had for a very long period of time. These are the main 5 divisions up until the recent change about 4 or 5 years ago. So this is the lightweight division. This was normally the most exciting division for a very long time. This is the 155 pound category. That's 11 stone and 1 pound category in the UK. This division is extremely exciting. It's one of my favourite divisions to watch. The list of people that are in this division is tremendous. We're going to go over that in other episodes, because if I was to break down all the divisions now and all the fighters, it would be an episode that would be about 2 or 3 hours long. So we'll break down individual weight classes and a bit of history from the division on another show. But the lightweight is 155 pounds. That's 11 stone and 1 pound. Great division. And the next division up is the 170 pound division, which is the welterweight division. That's 12 stone and 2 pounds. That's another great division. Well, they're all great. So that's another division. Famously, George St. Pierre was the champion for a very long time in that division. Okay, so the next division after that is the middleweight division. The middleweight division is probably one of the most stacked divisions when it comes to fighters. It's just the list of fighters in this division is tremendous. They've always had a very big caliber and a very lot of fighters in this division. It's 13 stone, 3 pound division. If you're in the UK, it's 185 pound division, and that's the middleweight class. Very famously, Anderson Silva was the champion for a very long time. Anderson Silva is a name you will hear quite a lot, because he is considered as the greatest of all time, the GOAT of the UFC, or mixed martial arts. But he's also been very naughty recently, and he's currently suspended for some kind of steroid use. So again, I digress and completely waffle on past the subject. So then the next division is probably the most popular division, I'd say, over the years. They had the really big fights, and popular with the fighters. A lot of fighters are in this division. It's normally very, very, very talented division. It's the light heavyweight division, the 205 pound division, 205s, and it's 14 stone, 6 pound division. So anyone above that can't go in there. A really great division. Famous fighters that have been champion are like Chuck Liddell, who's a Hall of Famer. John Jones was the champion up until recently, after something went on with that, but he's a very famous champion. It's just the champions have been amazing in that 105 division. So that's the second heaviest weight class. Now moving on to the big boys. The man, if you win this title bout and you're the heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC, you are considered the baddest man on the planet. And this is the 265 pound division. 18 stone 3 is the limit. So these are very big men. It's a very big gap, if you notice, from 205 and the light heavyweights to 265. That's 60 pounds weight. That's a big, big difference. 14 stone 6 to 18 stone 3. It's a massive difference. 60 pounds. They could put another weight class in there. In my opinion, that would be great if they had another weight class. We'll see one day. But these are very big men. The 265. Those fights don't normally go on very long. They're normally quick fights, because when a man of that size hits you, it's normally good night Vienna, to be honest. So that's a really very famous. At one point, it was just heavyweights in the UFC. So it's always been like the top caliber of the. For instance, like the heavyweights fighting is like, say, the 100-meter sprint in the athletics. It's the main event. It's the big deal. It's the thing that everyone wants to see, is the two heavyweights clash, two biggest men in the world clash. So yeah, it's brilliant. Famous champions are quickly pronounced. Randy Couture, very famous champion, Hall of Famer. Brock Lesnar, if you know who Brock Lesnar is. Obviously, people who have listened to my show would know that I'm on the wrestling show as well. Everyone know who Brock Lesnar is. Great champion. Frank Mir, great champion, multiple champion. Cain Velasquez, multiple champion. It's the list is endless of talented heavyweights. It's unbelievable. When they do go, they go, and they're wars. And I love watching a heavyweights fight. They've had a couple of events that have just been heavyweight bouts, which is ace to watch. So when the big guys throw it down, always worth watching. Really, really special stuff. Now, quickly, I'm going to just touch on another. There is another in the unified rules of mixed martial arts. There is another weight class, but the UFC doesn't actually have that weight class, and that's. Well, can you imagine if they did? That's the super heavyweight division. So that's anyone over 265 pounds. So anyone round about over 19 stone mark. Very massive men. I would love the UFC to put these big men in there. It would be a hell of a spectacle to see these massive men fight each other. Proper gladiator style men fighting each other. Would be great. There also could be another weight class around about the 195 pound mark, 195 pound. That would be great if they were to put that in. But that, yeah, again, it's me just hoping as a fan, because the more fights for me, personally, the better it is. And the more I get to watch, the more I get to enjoy UFC and mixed martial arts, the fastest growing sport in the world. So I hope I wasn't too fast or too mumbly, bumbling idiot that I get referred to as a lot, about the weight classes then. Like I said, there are 9 weight classes, but there are actually 10 divisions, because one of the weight classes, the bantamweight class, has men and women divisions of that class. So I hope I've not rushed through it and been explained quite enough. So I'm going to quickly run down again. We've got strawweight, 115 pounds, women's class. We've got flyweight, 125 pounds, man's division. Bantamweight, 135 pound division for men, and a women's division as well. And we've got featherweight for men, 145 pounds. Then we've got lightweight, 155 pounds for men. Welterweight, 170 pounds. 185 pounds is the middleweight division. Light heavyweight is the 205ers, and the heavyweight is a 265 pound division. So there we go, a little quick rundown of the weight classes. There are quite a lot now. There are a massive amount of fighters. Each division is stacked from top to bottom with fighters. It's incredible that the sport is how it is and how diverse it is. Because on one card you could have 2 18 stone 3 guys, two heavyweights, and you could also have 2 flyweights flying around, and it's completely different, because the flyweights, like the smallest group of men, they're like for instance, the champion is Demetrius Johnson, who's actually defending his title soon. He's called Mighty Mouse, so like he is quick as a flash. If you blink, you will miss stuff when he's fighting. So it's amazing the diversity that on one fight card that they could have literally one of each division, and that makes the fights completely different. It's like Mighty Mouse Johnson, is referred to as the pound for pound best fighter in the UFC, and he's a tiny bloke at 8 stone 13. So you know what I mean. So it's an amazing thing to watch these different shapes and sizes of men and women fighting. It's an amazing sport. So I have proper waffled on this episode, fair play. I do apologise if I have bored you in any way. I hope you're still listening. Right, so like I said at the beginning of the episode, I have been sent a question, and the question is, what do they mean by when they talk about that they haven't had a full camp? Okay? So, if a fighter does an interview, recently, quite famously, Chad Mendes was fighting Conor McGregor for the interim featherweight title, and he didn't have a full camp. This is because, well, This is because he was a replacement fighter. He literally had 2 weeks' notice on a fight. Normally,